Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Lippert Live for May 31st. It is indeed the last full day of May. Good morning to everyone joining in the chat right now. You can watch us on Lippert social media channels as well as Lippert Scouts on Facebook or the Lippert Communities app. Let us know in the comments where you might be watching from. We got Mike and Missy and Morgan in the chat growing in right now. So welcome, Doug. Doug, welcome in, and thank you. Doug has been posting a lot in Scouts this week, which is awesome to see. Some questions, some tips and tricks. Lippert Scouts, if you are unaware, is our free feedback forum. So a lot of, we're going to talk about a rally we were at this week, an RV event where they had a product feedback forum. If you have feedback for Lippert products and services, we are open 24/7 to get that feedback from you. So anything, the good, the bad, Lippert products, services, ease of use for the website, or how do you go about ordering your products, working with RV dealers and RV manufacturers when coming upon a Lippert, maybe it's a service need or a product need. We are open all times at Lippert Scouts, which again is free to join. It is a group on Facebook, or you can download the Lippert Communities app if you're one who does not like using Facebook or other social media apps. So we look forward to seeing you in there. Happy Friday, Derek. Happy Friday to Don and Jim watching and Michelle watching in the Lippert Communities app right now and commenting. You can chat with your fellow RVers who you may not be able to see all the time during this show every Friday morning at 11 a.m. So we welcome you and thank you again for joining us here. I want to talk a little bit about one of the events that we were at this week, some of the upcoming events, how busy our Lippert Technical Institute is, and we have a couple of guests here to share their RV experiences and what they're doing within Lippert and outside of Lippert to make the RV experience better for folks who come from all over to camp, and to make sure we're getting the best products to you by having a strong team here at Lippert. So we're going to get in to a lot of that here this morning. Dawn and Danette are listening from the road in Indiana. If you are traveling right now, let us know where you're headed, what you're traveling for, and are you ready to start camping here in now June? As of 13 hours from now on the East Coast, we will be in June. Joe is in the chat. Cindy is in the chat. Thank you all for joining us today. I want to kick us off here a little bit with what we did this week as Lippert. We were at the Alliance RV Rally in Elkhart County at the Elkhart County Fairgrounds. Over 300 rigs from all over the Midwest and the country really converged at this particular RV rally. If you were an Alliance owner and you were there, let us know in Lippert Scouts what was your favorite part. And what did you learn? Because I will tell you, the schedule for this event was packed. If you've ever been to an RV rally, something RV specific, maybe for a specific manufacturer, let us know what you were kind of seeing. And did you have a crazy busy schedule? Because this rally went for 3 days. It is currently wrapping up today. And we were there. Our teams are there right now. Our seminars are going on. There's actually a Lippert seminar on slide outs and leveling going on at this moment. Our service teams are there, as well as folks basically just answering a couple of questions as people come about. But we were there live at the Alliance RV Rally. You see some of the happy folks talking about new units, enjoying some cornhole experiences, but also on the bottom left there, you can see we had a product feedback forum, and Alliance had a product feedback forum with some of their product designers, getting that feedback on what you were seeing in your Alliance unit, maybe in some of the accessories that are built in. Really anything went, and it was quite the big gathering, quite the big event. Very cool feedback happening. We actually had a couple of people pop up who had some awning feedback, and luckily we were there. And then we had some side conversations with some folks who were talking about whether it was awnings or some of the materials in their unit. We were able to get a little bit more detail. Obviously, we invited them to our Lippert Scouts group because, again, we can get feedback like that at all times. We don't have to wait once a year to be able to gather. So super cool to see the folks out there enjoying the Alliance Rally. And one of our first guests for today, I wanted to bring in Joe Mell, who is a director of marketing over there and was actually camping at the fairgrounds all week long at this particular rally as some of the folks began to roll in to the Elkhart County Fairgrounds. I want to bring a conversation that I had with him yesterday at our Lippert booth and hear more about not only this Alliance rally, but why it's so important to get that product feedback, and then what we can as companies do with that feedback to make sure we are making the experience better. So here's my conversation with Joe from Alliance. I am here at the Lippert booth with Joe Mell from Alliance. Joe, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. It has been a busy week.
It has been.
A busy week. We've been here at the rally now for a few days, and you've been here all week.
Yeah, since Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, staying on the grounds here at the Elkhart County.
So I'm camping here. I am part of the Alliance, and I want to associate and mingle with all of our great, family members that we have here.
Yeah, so tell the folks who are watching this, our Lippert Scouts and folks watching on Lippert socials, what do you do for Alliance, and why is it a big part that you're here doing this rally?
Yep, so Joe Mell, I'm the head of marketing for Alliance RV, and I believe that if you touch the product on the everyday basis, especially from the marketing standpoint, you have to understand the customer's mindset, and what better way than spend it with 650 customers of your own.
Yeah, talk about 650. I mean, we have new rigs that are being shown here. We're going to talk about this thing behind me in a moment as well. But this rally has certainly grown over the last few years. When did it start, and how have you noticed just the progression of more folks coming to this area?
Yep. So this is the fifth rally that we've had.
Okay.
The first year was actually at Elkhart Campground, which is about 10 minutes from Alliance, and we didn't have any alliances there other than the product we brought.
Yeah.
We just said, hey, we're going to throw a rally. If you're interested in joining the Alliance, come on over. We had about 25 rigs come.
Yeah.
And it was a fun experience. And then fast forward to 4 years later,
here we are.
Now we're at 325 rigs. That's 2 people per coach. Obviously, we got some kids, some people with multiple people. So we're a little over 650 people here right now.
Yeah, just throwing animals there too, and then we're probably over 700 or 750.
Yeah, if you count animals, we're probably near the 800s because we actually do check. Are you bringing a pet?
Oh yeah.
And we had 125 dogs on site. We have 1 lizard.
Okay,
a bunch of cats as well. I don't remember the exact number of cats, but. A bunch of cats too.
Interesting. And then other, people who don't want to describe what kind of animal they're bringing, just for safety purposes, maybe.
Yeah. I saw a lamb.
Okay. Oh wow. Oh wow. And then there will be deer, but someone didn't bring those. They're just showing up.
They're showing
here.
up. They're
showing up here. So yeah, we are at the Alliance Rally. We've seen the progression growing from when it was at the Elkhart Campground, because we've usually been here with our service team selling a few products for folks who might only really get to this area once per year, coming to this rally, and might want to see some things hands-on. We were just at one of the product feedback sessions that you were doing. Talk to a little bit, because we know the importance of feedback. I know you do too with our Lippert Scouts group. It's all about getting product feedback and service feedback on what we're doing. Why is it important, and what kind of stuff did we see there at the feedback forum?
Absolutely. So one of our key features of building Alliance was customer-driven features, and that's just listening to the customer and making modifications. We actually do running changes all the time. So you may look at a coach at a dealership today and then go back next week and they have that same floor plan, but it was built a week later, and those changes have been implemented and made. And so we had tons of feedback on just little things like put outlets on certain areas. And those are things that we had the right people in the room to take the notes, to go back. And then after this week is over, we actually have a big, post-rally powwow where we know all the ideas product-wise, rally-wise, just service-wise, on how we can get better and relentlessly improve the Alliance product.
And of course, always taking feedback on the Facebook page and social media as well through those comments. I loved some of the bigger reactions, bathroom sinks. There were a lot of different product innovations, product changes, products that have been in there for a while that get different reactions. So it's always fun to see what really is on top of people's minds while we're doing that. Of course, the Delta travel trailer, which we featured on Lippert Live before, featured in Scouts, is a brand new product for you. How are we seeing response to the Delta?
Delta has seen exponential growth when we launched it about a year ago now. So it really didn't start hitting markets until mid-July of last year. We launched it right before the rally last year. And it is now our #1 selling product.
Cool.
quickly.
Oh, wow.
So and obviously it hit a little bit of a different price market. It's easier to get into from an entry level standpoint, but it's a fantastic product.
Yeah. First travel trailer, is that
It's
right?
our first travel trailer. We do have a travel trailer toy hauler, but
Okay, I
there's
gotcha.
some classification things there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about this thing behind us right here.
Yeah.
This mobile service, because you had just told me before we started with this that this might be the last time it's in Indiana, at least for the time being. What's going on with this mobile service behind us?
So one of the things that we heard going back to customer feedback is it's harder for our West Coast family members to find service out west.
Sure.
Obviously, it's a lot more widespread. The population density is big.
Yeah.
So what we decided to do is invest a significant amount of money into a mobile service truck and trailer, and then we actually hired a full-time service rep that is going to be based out of Boise, Idaho, and he's going to travel up and down the West Coast servicing our Alliance members.
All right, very cool.
Yeah.
And of course, we've had service here at the rally. I mean,
Yes, and they're
talk about a
crushing it.
busy team.
Oh.
And a lot of it is checks. You know, one of the things we do when we come to rallies like this is we offer those free inspection checks.
Yep.
Like someone may not even necessarily have a particular issue that they want checked out. They just want to make sure they're going to be good when they travel their long distance, possibly home.
Yep.
So we do a lot of those inspections, a lot of those preventative, if you will, checks out there. But yeah, the service team's one of the bigger reactions at your opening ceremonies, at your question and answer. People love the service that we're getting here.
Yeah, so our service team, we actually shut down our Plant 2 Paradigm plant for the whole week.
Yeah.
And they are out here every day around 6 a.m. and they just start servicing.
Oh, wow.
I believe every single coach here has had some level of service done.
Yeah.
And then it's just a matter of, the scale of the service that's needed if they have to come back or not.
And given Q&As too, we have the dealer that we're showing off here this week, where there's a lot of newer rigs out there available to be seen.
Yep.
But you've had some coach side Q&As scheduled throughout the week, so people can get there at their convenience.
Yep.
Talk about the schedule just a little bit at a rally like this, because it is packed with seminars, got vendors pretty much all throughout the day, a lot of events going on at night. What has the feedback kind of been on having so much to do in the 3 days really that the rally is technically going on?
Correct, yeah. So got to give a shout out to April Clark. She's the brains behind the whole operation. She's crushed it.
Yeah.
And I just kind of provide backup support on the marketing end. So starting with all the stuff, so we got this nice display over here that has multiple brands of each segment here, so you can kind of tour what's new for Alliance. We also have tons of different classes going on. There's a workout session going on right in front of us right now. There's a bike ride with Bill, there's crafting classes, we have product breakout sessions where our sales reps will actually come and listen by brand, so Paradigm, Valor, Avenue, Delta, and just hear feedback from customers. So not only do we do a big one with a bunch of people, we do micro breakouts, and just in case people can't make it. There are breakfasts and dinners, and we have one of my favorite times of the rally is actually the opening ceremony. The first day, yesterday morning.
Packed house, of course.
Packed house. We had great catered food in. And then we always do a little kickoff, and we played a couple jokes.
Yeah.
So there's some good laughs that go on. Ryan and Coley then get up there and answer everyone's questions that want to go up and speak. And how often do you have the opportunity to talk to the owners of a company?
Right. Yeah, especially, folks that, talk about our West Coast folks that want that service out there. They can't always make the trip over to Goshen, but these folks are here once per year to kind of see what's going on, what's the big, what's big in the industry, what's big with Alliance RV, what's big with any manufacturer. Super cool to have events like this. The last thing I want to ask you, someone who might be curious to go to an RV rally, maybe they're not an Alliance owner, whatever the brand may be, what would be your pitch to say, hey, at least once, get out to an event like this, meet your fellow owners. How do you get people out?
Well, of course, I'd hope you guys would choose to come to the Alliance rally. But as an industry, I highly recommend getting to any rally possible. I can't speak to all the other rallies and how they operate. I can speak to Alliances. But if they operate in the similar nature that we do, you're going to have a good time. There's going to be great events. There's going to be good people around, because the RVing community alone is just a great community. And making those connections and getting the opportunity to meet the people that make the decisions on the products is it's priceless.
We met up with one of our Lippert Scouts. Shelly is here. It's her first rally. Just purchased an Alliance, I believe, last June.
Nice.
So first-time owner here at the rally. Super cool to have some of our Lippert Scouts here. And thanks so much, Joe, for telling us a little bit about what's going on here in year 5.
Yeah, thanks,
All
Rob.
righty,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep, we hope that you guys choose to join the Alliance.
Let's go.
All right, so a little bit of my conversation with Joe from Alliance this week at the Alliance RV Rally, the Ally Rally, if you will. So it was super cool. And yeah, we talk about, service teams being there, the level of service. Some people just might want to, maybe they have a basic common question. Maybe they actually have a need for a repair of some sort. There's a lot of different types of service that can be done at these types of events. We all had the Indy 500 was last Sunday, almost last Monday, but really last Sunday. The Indy 500 happened. Have you ever camped at a race? So we talk about these RV rallies and some of these RV gathering events. So a little bit different than staying at a traditional campground. Big racing weekend and a big camping event. Those races, I myself have camped at the Indy 500 before. If you are watching, if you are a Lippert Scout, if you are commenting on these pages, have you ever stayed at a race and what was the experience like for you? How different was it from maybe a traditional camping event or camping weekend? Let us know those comments in the chat right now. Kenny in the chat says camp at Talladega every April. That is super awesome. Talladega camping. How different was it your first time going? When you go to a race, do you know what to expect fully? How much research do you do? And how is that research different? We want to know these things in our Lippert Scouts community. And as you are watching, make sure you comment and like on these videos. So super cool. We have Kenny also asked, when are y'all coming to the Gulf Coast? We'll keep you updated every Friday here where Lippert teams might be for whether it's an RV rally event or a special event. The Mike and Missy Cook, the Campaholics, are in our chat talking about how they are going to be representing Lippert in Oregon coming up for an Alliance RV rally as well. So stay tuned to Lippert Live and our Lippert Scouts calendar for all the places that we may be coming up in an RV event near you. Of course, we're coming to the Dutchman Owners Rally. That is happening starting next week, June 5th. That is going to be in the Elkhart County Fairgrounds. June 18th, we're coming to Oregon for an RV owner school. So a one-day RV owner school. You can sign up right now. You are getting training on your Lippert components, parts, and Q&As. So any questions that you want to come with, make sure you are getting those and asking. And if you're coming to the Mishawaka, Indiana, northern Indiana area over the summer, we have these 4 dates for RV owner schools. These are 3-day schools where you get hands-on technical learning with our trainers at the Lippert Technical Institute. I talk about those Lippert Technical Institute trainers and groups being super busy. We recently introduced the Slide Out Learning Path. This is for RV techs nationwide who want to be a stronger slide out specialist in combination with in-person learning as well as instructor-led webinars. We are partnering with the RV Technical Institute to get that higher level of training for those dealer techs out there and for those technicians out there who are servicing your units. So a lot is going into that, and that's not all. Right now, you can find the Lippert Technical Institute channel on YouTube. They've released a couple episodes of their Lippert Technical Institute show, and this is going to be more of those DIY and common questions, things that you might want to know or need to know when you're on the go to either prevent or quickly fix some of the common issues that come up. So make sure you are following the Lippert Technical Institute channel right now on YouTube, as well as the main Lippert channel where you might be watching this Lippert Live right now at the moment. 2 veterans on the move are in the chat. Can't wait to hang out with Scouts. There is a Scout meetup happening, led by Camp Relax Repeat. A Scout meetup happening right now, or not right now, but next week, I believe, in Ludington, Michigan. So again, you can check out the calendar in Lippert Scouts. Join us on Facebook. There is no obligation and no money that needs to change hands. Come in and give your experiences as well as camping with fellow Scouts. We had a product announcement go up on Lippert Social this week. If you missed it, the Jayco preset models right now are going to feature our Lippert 4000 series frameless windows. So some of the different unique designs in these windows coming to a Jayco unit. So be on the lookout at your dealers. Whether you're looking for Jayco units, whether you're looking for motorhomes or not, be sure if you see one at your local dealer, go and ask questions or check it out right there. So a cool product, a new product going up on the Jayco Precept models. I've talked about Lippert Scouts. Welcome to Lippert Scouts for those new members. One of our members who joined last year, Shelly, we did see them at the Alliance Rally, saw her at the Alliance Rally. We also saw several Scouts, including Brian and Lorraine, who are in the chat right now. It's been so awesome and so great to see friends and the ambassadors this week. Love our Lippert family. Appreciate the kind words. Russell's in the chat saying, no more tent camping for us. No, get that giant motorhome out into the campgrounds, and be sure if you're checking out new motorhomes, check out those Jaycos. I want to thank those folks that have recently joined. We're going to get to a welcome post that someone posted this week in Scouts that was super awesome. Michael coming from North Central Tennessee, most beautiful campground ever visited since Fort Wilderness in the 70s, which is a long streak in between. So congrats on finding that campground. What makes a beautiful campground to you? Is it any particular type of amenity? Is it just the air around you and maybe some of the nature around you? What makes a great campground to you? Make sure you're getting that in our comments. Doug posted, there are two kinds of people in the world, ones who take their shoes off when they come in the RV and ones who don't. Commented on there that most of the time I will, but if I'm quickly exiting and entering, I don't always do that, and maybe I should. Camped in Yellowstone last year with a lot of our Lippert Scouts members, and the shoes had to come off even before stepping in the camper. It was Mudville, and it could have been quite messy. But what type are you? Are you always shoes off, always shoes on? And I'm really curious too, are there any DIY projects that you've done to your camper to make getting in and out less messy? Are there alterations that you've done to your steps? Have you upgraded steps for that particular reason? Have you thought about some of the entry steps that fold over or go into the unit and maybe made a decision based on cleanliness? Let us know your thoughts and your feedback in our Lippert Scouts community under Doug's post right now on exiting and entering your rig. And this was a welcome post from new members Keith and Ann. Third camping season for my family. They were in a 22 Forest River Wildwood, and we tow with the 21 Ram. But the cool thing about this welcome post is they detailed some of the upgrades, some of the first things on their mind when getting this new unit that they had to either tackle, address, change, maybe just upgrade. So quite a welcome post. If you are joining Lippert Scouts or you have not done this, maybe you've been a longtime Scout and you have not let us know what those upgrades, what were those first things on your mind that you needed to tackle, get in Lippert Scouts right now, and it's time for your welcome post. So I congratulate Keith and Ann for such a great post and thank them for joining our community, and look forward to hearing more on the upgrades, more on the feedback of your Lippert products. You know, as you can see there, they upgraded from an AC unit to a Furrion. So yeah, we want to know all the good, the bad. What are you seeing with that Furrion unit? And how can we keep progressing in the future? So super cool to see all of those posts. Obviously, it is not May 24th. It is May 31st. So that slide is just going back into the past. But I want to thank all of our Scouts who have posted this week. Like I said, Doug is in the chat right now. He's posted a lot of cool tips and tricks in there. You are going to get help from Lippert folks, from your fellow campers, but also your feedback heard by Lippert leaders. Speaking of Lippert leaders, recently Edgar Cabello of our leadership development team sat down with a fellow leader within the community to talk about what they've done to propel Lippert business forward and how do we get the strongest team possible. I want to bring our next edition of the Lippert Leadership Development series here on Lippert Live to you. Deanna Montiel joined Edgar Cabello, and we're going to hear from her right now.
With Deanna Montiel. She is part of our culture and leadership team here at Lippert. And Deanna, thank you for taking the time to talk.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm delighted to be with you.
So we're here at the Pack Out event again. And I know you've been to a couple of these already, right?
Yes.
So this is not new to you, and things are about ready to get started
That's
here.
Right.
But
That's right.
we wanted to catch you while we could before everything gets a little bit out of control here. So
Just a little bit.
just a bit. It's going to get there real soon. So tell our people that are watching, customers and friends of Lippert, like, what is it that you do here? I mean, I think I know fairly well, but like, let them in on how you spend your days here.
Yes, I get to have the opportunity to serve our leaders and team members, especially in the chassis division, providing training, coaching, advice, and just being part of the regular business with the leadership mindset. And it's just a pleasure that I get to do this every single day.
Yeah, and you get high marks from the people you get to work with, so I know you're pretty good at what you do. In fact, I'm going to have to brag on you for just a little bit, because I think it was this year that you received the Leader of the Year award.
That was actually Rachel. I got the influencer.
Influencer of the Year.
Yes.
So still a dynamic award. Yes. And what was that like for you to be recognized by your work family as a person of great influence?
Yes. It was an honor. It was a very nice surprise, especially because of the work that we are doing intentionally, reaching out our Spanish-speaking leaders and team members with the same caliber of training and coaching, but in Espanol.
That's
and so being recognized for that effort was just amazing, not just for me, but for the team.
Yeah. And for people who may not know, like, we have a very large Latino population at Lippert. And one of the things I think many of us that have been able to work closely with you and alongside you during your time at Lippert is that we all always know that you're trying to help us remember that there's a part of our population where we've got to be really excellent about communicating with them. Why? Tell us about that a little bit.
Yes, because I think that it's more than the language. It's more than providing a translation. It's having that cultural competence.
That's right.
To be able to connect and engage people where they are and understand cultural differences and nuances, and being able to understand, belief systems and things that may be different that may affect growth.
Sure.
And so it's more than language. It's being able to connect with people at that level and to be part of an organization that is intentional about that. I mean, it's just fantastic.
You've been such a help to so many people in that regard, and to our team in the same way. So give people a little bit of insight, like, on the topics that you're coaching towards and training towards. Like, what are some of the trends that you've noticed? What do people ask of you when they're seeking some direction, some guidance, some training?
Yeah, so I think that a lot of it has to do with the whole issue of how do I develop myself first so that I can lead better, and how do I get tools in order to do that? Because I think that now more than ever we understand that I need to be able to lead myself well so I can lead my team well. And so creating that awareness of how do I lead myself when I'm under stress? How can I lead myself well when there's a lot of priorities, competing priorities, and how do I lead through that? So I think that a lot of the leading self, it's getting a lot of attention because people realize how important that is.
That's right. So we for people that may not know this, like, we have this leadership competence model, self-team business, right? Self is foundational.
That's right.
And so it seems like people are kind of pulling on you because they may not know what to do in that regard.
Because we've had leaders that have led teams or in the business for a long time, but being able to point to where am I going, where do I want to be, how can I develop myself, and especially those self-awareness, emotional intelligence, how do I communicate better, those are foundational topics, but just seeing people realize how important it is to lead yourself first.
Absolutely.
It's huge.
It's absolutely huge. Listen, we only had a short time. I could talk to you for a long time, but like, if you haven't picked up on it yet, this woman is very passionate about the work that she does. And Diana, let me just say, for those of us that have the opportunity and the honor to work alongside you, we so appreciate you. The value you bring to our lives and to this company is just immense. And so, last question for you, okay?
Okay.
Since in your time here, what's just something that you could say that that you're just really proud of, as you've been part of the landscape for a little while? What comes to mind for you?
Ooh, I think that Build to Lead in Espanol would probably top it off. Our training for our leaders in Spanish.
That's
Again, a full day of training, leadership development. I think that's one of my, it's close to my heart.
And it should be, and you've been so instrumental in that regard. So thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing some time with us. And I'm sure our customers appreciate, and our friends of Lippert appreciate the work that you're doing here, because it helps us help our community get much better and much happier and much better results as we go. So thank you so much for the work that you do.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias también.